Kaufman Close-Ups, brought to you by the Georgia Lottery Corporation, contributing over $7 billion to education in Georgia.
Even in an industry dominated by four-letter lyrics, Ludacris seems to have earned a special place in the hearts of those who say that rap is responsible for the decline of Western civilization. So it may come as a surprise for you to learn that this notorious purveyor of vulgarity is actually a pretty nice guy.
At one of the most troubled schools in America, it is a very special day. Ludacris makes a surprise appearance in response to a letter from one of these teenagers.
Why do you do it?
Because it feels good. Simple as that. It feels good to touch someone else's heart.
Oh my gosh, this means so much to me. Thank you, Ludacris, so much for being who you are.
To the students at Hamilton High School, this concert means more than you might think. Here in crime-ridden South Central Los Angeles, rumors of impending violence between rival gangs have caused thousands of students to stay at home.
Everybody need to come together and love one another. Understand that.
The idea of school officials allowing this kind of concert may seem, well, a bit ludicrous to many of you.
I mean, I'm getting older and I'm learning from my mistakes, but, you know, don't try to down me for what I've been through or what I talk about in my music, because it's coming from the heart.
Give me one example of what you've learned.
And learn to forgive.
He has not yet forgiven Bill O'Reilly, the Fox News commentator. Ludacris lost a multi-million-dollar commercial deal with Pepsi after O'Reilly called him, quote, a dangerous thug who degrades women, encourages substance abuse, and does all the things that hurt particularly the poor in our society, end of quote.
All the people that are criticizing, you have no idea who I am.
For instance, you probably don't know that Ludacris uses his influence to bring power and money together on behalf of charity.
Our efforts reach youth at all age levels.
The cause is dear to his heart because Ludacris says it wasn't so long ago that he was hungry for success.
So you literally sat down and said, I'm going to plot this just the way I want to do it.
Exactly.
You're a man with a plan.
And it took a little longer than I thought, because it took about a good 5-6 years, but I did it the right way. I wouldn't have wanted it to happen any other way.
Too many holes in my socks, and I'm ready to box.
Although born in Illinois, he grew up here in Atlanta, the Dirty South, as it's sometimes called in the music biz.
This was like the Motown of the South, so I just felt it was the best place.
It was at Banneker High School, where teachers knew him as Chris Bridges, that his future superstar began to perform for an audience.
I would get a crowd around me, and I would just do my thing.
And I was told that you used to be something else in the lunchroom.
If you do something at lunch, the whole school is going to hear about it. It's just basically going to seed throughout the whole school within about 5 minutes. So lunch was the most important part of school.
It was also at Banneker that Chris Bridges became Ludacris.
How did you get the name Ludacris?
My first name is Chris. My music personality, Ludacris, is beyond crazy, ridiculous, so that's basically what it was all about, and I just came up with the name myself. And as you see certain videos that I've done or certain songs that I've made, you just be like, this is Ludacris.
I can tell you, I have a friend who all she could remember when she heard her 13-year-old singing, I'm gonna lick, 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 lick.
Oh, no.
What's your fantasy?
I mean...
Did your mama hear that song?
Yeah, she did. Some songs are definitely adult, which is why you have a parental advisory sticker on the album. We can't necessarily control, as artists, who our music, gets into the hands of, but what we have to do is stay true to ourselves.
Ludacris is staying true to himself, he says, despite embarking on a second career in Hollywood.
You don't want to just be, as you said, a rapper.
No one wants to rap for the rest of their lives.
You can work on that front end of yours.
Not his own harshest critic. He rates his debut in Too Fast, Too Furious an 8 out of 10, and his more recent performance in Crash a 9 out of 10.
Crash is my pride and joy.
Ludacris plays Anthony, a carjacker, angry at being stereotyped.
You have no idea why they put them great big windows on the sides of buses, do you? Why? One reason only, to humiliate the people of color who are reduced to riding on it.
It's just really about finding yourself, you know what I mean, and releasing all the hate out of your system.
Is there any of you in Anthony or any of Anthony in you?
The militant part, you know what I mean? The part that hopes and just wants so strong to become the strongest individual I can possibly be.
What do you know about carjacking?
What do I know about carjacking? We'll leave that out of this particular segment.
Dropping lyrical bombs up in your hood.
Ludacris says the ugly truth is that his art is merely a reflection of his real life.
What we talk about a lot is what goes on in our own neighborhood. So a lot of times it's narrating what's going on. And there's a lot of frustration built up inside, which we have to get out. And the only way to get it out is through our music.
They know exactly what you're telling them.
Ludacris has found an unlikely ally in WSB Radio's nationally syndicated talk show host Neil Bortz, not generally known as the most liberal guy on the block.
Hey, I don't judge people by whether they're liberal or conservative or what their lyrics are. You know, and in all of my interaction with Ludacris, I have found him to be a nice, warm, genuine guy that I like being with.
In fact, Bortz and Ludacris have become members of a mutual admiration society.
I love Neil Bortz. That's my man. That's my homeboy, man.
What do you and Neil Bortz have in common?
We have in common that we know that what people do behind closed doors is their business. But the people that are criticizing are those who don't want to let people know what goes on behind their closed door. That's what we have in common.
Get out my business, my business.
Bill O'Reilly's closed doors were flung open last year with allegations of sexual harassment and revelations of phone sex.
So to find out that he is saying the same words, if not more, on the telephone with some woman, it didn't surprise me one bit.
Kind of like poetic justice.
Exactly. I knew he was a hypocrite from day one, so it doesn't surprise me.
In the long run, O'Reilly may have done Ludacris a favor. Although Pepsi dropped him, Ludacris became famous overnight.
What doesn't kill you will make you stronger, so the more you have to talk about, the more life experiences, it's almost like the better you'll be.